Hello and welcome to the SMunger Cup Series Season 2, Race 2 of 12, coming from Mid-Ohio. I'm your host, Steve, and today we have 26 drivers who have qualified into the two heats, and they're going to race their way into the main event. It's the second points-paying race of the season. It's the first road course race of the season, and we anticipate a pretty exciting race all around today. With 26 guys, it's going to really throw the points around. We've got some guys out here who are really good at the road courses. We got some guys who aren't so good at the road courses. And Mid-Ohio is one of the toughest road courses that was available to put onto the circuit for the season. It's very bumpy. The corners are very tight. The track itself is very narrow. Not a lot of room to work with here. Let's take a look at the starting lineup for Heat A. Chad Jones on the pole with Dice Guy, who's outside. They make up row number 1. Oliver Gingerich to the inside. Michael McCammett to the outside, make up row number 2. Josh Otterbury to the inside. Jax Riley to the outside, make up row number 3. Tyler Rogers to the inside. Rylan Just to the outside, make up row number 4. Chase Newman to the inside. L-Dog to the outside, make up row number 5. Colby Jackson to the inside. Rainbow to the outside, make up row number 6. Dave Wilson by himself on the inside, back in row number 7. The pace car ducks down pit road. Chad Jones will lead them down to the start. 2 laps in Heat A, 2 laps in Heat B. As they come out of the last set of corners, Chad Jones will bring them to the stripe. Green flag is out. Heat A is underway here at Mid-Ohio. Jones and Guy with a good initial launch. They got about a 3-car length lead over Gingerich already. Jones will hang on to the lead coming out of corner number 1. Dice Guy about a car length back from him and about 5 car lengths back to Oliver Gingerich. But mid-pack 4th to about 10th. They are grouped together as one cluster as Jones will lead him into turn number 2. Dice Guy is still hanging right onto his bumper, about 3 car lengths back still as Oliver Gingerich, but they're clustered up there following behind Otterbury. Pretty spread out, but nose to tail nonetheless. It is Jones, Guy, Gingerich, Otterbury, McCammett, Rogers, and Riley, your top 7 at the moment. We got issues at the back. That is Rainbow getting shoved offline, I believe, by Dave Wilson, but Rainbow hard into the outside wall coming down into corner number 4. That was in corner number 3. Yet Rainbow has heavy left front damage. The suspension is shot on that car. He is done for the race. He's going to pull off somewhere where it's safe. It is still Jones out front over Dice Guy and Oliver Gingerich. Jax Riley's made his way up into the 4th position. Rylan just up to 5th. Rogers and Otterbury round out the top 7 at the moment. McCammett's coming. He's up to 8th now. Newman up to 9th. And Colby Jackson will round out the top 10. As Chad Jones has quite a lead. Oliver Gingerich jumps up into the 2nd spot. He's closed the distance right up to the back of the 21. Here comes Dice Guy on the outside. He's trying to take the lead. They're 3 wide for the lead. There goes Oliver Gingerich out front. White flag is in the air one more time around Mid-Ohio for Heat A. Oliver Gingerich with a wild pass for the lead coming out of corner number 13. I believe that is corner number 13. I'm still learning the corner map here. But it is Gingerich, Guy, Jones, Otterbury, Rogers, Just Riley, your top 7 now. Jax Riley has fallen all the way to 7th. Newman still trying to work his way up there. He's up to 9th now. Colby Jackson up to 8th now. And Otterbury getting turned sideways. That's off the nose of Rylan Just. They're stacking up coming out of corner number 2. They keep it going, though. It is Jax Riley's now back into the 4th spot, but Otterbury to 5th. Newman and Jackson have made their way into transfer spots in 6th and 7th. Rogers is now the first car out in 8th, followed by Just and McCammett rounding out the top 10. Dice Guy leading, but he's got Gingerich all over his bumper looking to take the lead back from him. They're coming back down. I believe that's corner number 6. Gingerich still working on Guy, trying to take the lead back from him, but there goes Gingerich. Here's corner number 7. He's going to take the lead from Dice Guy. Got a corner number 8. He's got about a 3-car length lead over him. Jax Riley passing Chad Jones coming out of corner number 9. He is now in 3rd spot. Chad Jones has fallen to 4th. Chase Newman up to the 5th spot. Otterbury and Rogers hold the last 2 transfer spots, but going into corner number 12, Oliver Gingerich has built up a 5 or 6 car length lead. It's been an exciting Heat A here at Mid-Ohio as Oliver Gingerich out of corner 13 will lead him down to grab the checkered flag here at Mid-Ohio for Heat A, followed by Dice Guy, Jax Riley, Chase Newman, Josh Otterbury rounding out the top 5. Chad Jones 6th, and Tyler Rogers will hang on to the final transfer spot in 7th over Ryland Just. But Oliver Gingerich wins Heat A at Mid-Ohio after a wild beating and banging race between him and Dice Guy, more or less in particular. But it's Gingerich, Guy, Riley, Newman, Audebray, your top 5, followed by Jones, Rogers, Just, Jackson, and Wilson, the top 10. Just was the first car out. He was beating and banging with Rogers right up to the line. He lost by about a splitter. Michael McCamick comes home 11th, followed by L-Dog in 12th, and Rainbow round out the field 1 lap down in the 13th position. Heat A was pretty nuts. What a crazy way to start the race. We're going to ride on board with Josh Audebray. We're going to see this pass on lap 1 coming to the white flag. This is the 3-wide pass for the lead. Dice Guy overshot the corner just a little bit. That's what gave up the second spot to Gingerich. So Dice Guy decided he's going to go out wide, and going up the middle goes Oliver Gingerich. Looks like Chad Jones has had a rough set of corners there in turn 12 and turn 13. Couldn't get the drive off, and Oliver Gingerich just wasn't waiting on him. Let's take a ride on board with Rainbow, see what happened here on the first lap. He's outside, and yeah, Dave Wilson must have thought he was clear, or spotter called him clear. He just wasn't. He was outside of him. He was right against the white line there. And Dave Wilson just moved right up. And that was hard contact with that outside wall. It knocked that left front wheel pretty much off. But a big hit for Rainbow in Heat A on lap 1. And Oliver Gingerich grabbing the win. It's been a pretty wild start to the weekend here at Mid-Ohio. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Heat B from Mid-Ohio after this. Hello and welcome back to the SMunger Cup Series race 2 of 12 at Mid-Ohio. It's time for Heat B, so let's take a look at the starting lineup. Ryan DeLago to the inside, Lazard to the outside, make up row number 1. Drake Goslin to the inside, Tanner Mann to the outside, make up row number 2. Stephen Munger on the inside, Johnny Quinton on the outside, make up row number 3. William Schmidt on the inside, Dogleg Matt on the outside, make up row number 4. Cooper Glick on the inside, Darksy on the outside, make up row number 5. Blake Romano to the inside, Kacker to the outside, make up row number 6. By himself on the inside of row number 7 is the 7, Andrew Zachary. Ryan DeLago will bring him down to the line. Green flag is in the air, start of Heat B. Once again, a spread out start amongst the leaders. Ryan DeLago gets a better start than the Heat A guys and over the leaders. He's got a 5-car length gap over Drake Goslin, moving into the second spot with Lazard. Tanner Mann 4th. Stephen Munger dropping back to the 5th spot. Johnny Quinton looking to get a spot on him in 6th. And Dogleg Matt currently holding the last transfer spot back in 7th. But it is currently single file amongst the top 3. About 5 car lengths apart of each other. DeLago arguably is closer to a 10-car length lead now. And it looks to be a battle for the 6th spot between Matt, Munger, Schmidt, Quinton, and Glick. Glick is back there as well. It's pretty grouped up back here from about the 4th and 9th place spots now. But the leaders are pretty well spread out. But it's anybody's race back here. You only need to make it up into the top 7 to make it on. Johnny Quinton going around. Just went around just off the nose of Blake Romano in the 4. Looks like he's in a flat right front tire. They were stacking up going up that hill. I don't know if they got cut on the straightaway beforehand. But around goes to 28 off the nose of the 4. That was back there at about the 8th spot. Armano dropping back to 11th now. But it is DeLago, Goslin, Lazard, Munger, Matt, your top 5, followed by Tanner Mann and William Schmidt rounding out the top 7. As they come into corner number 12, Drake Goslin all over the bumper of Ryan DeLago, trying to take the lead from him right now. He wants to go. Knocks him sideways out of corner number 13. White flag is out one more time around Mid-Ohio in Heat B. Drake Goslin now has about a 7-car length lead over Ryan DeLago. Stephen Munger's made his way up into the 3rd spot, followed by Lazard and Matt rounding out the top 5. Cooper Glick moving up into 6th, and Tanner Mann falling into the 7th spot. William Schmidt's now the first car outside of a transfer spot. As you come out of corner number 1 into corner number 2, DeLago is about 5 car lengths back at Goslin. Goslin hasn't run away just yet. They still have a shot at him coming out of corner number 2, going towards turns 3 and turn 4. But the first 4 cars there, single file, looks like the main battle there is going to be for 5th spot between Lazard and Matt. Zachary's made his way into the 7th spot. He's hauling at the moment. He was just in the 11th spot going through turn number 2. He is up into the 7th spot. He's made his way into the 5th spot. He is flying. I'm sorry, he's still in the 7th spot. He is back there behind Matt. He is trying to get around these guys right here. And he's going to cut them short. He hits the 25. He shoves them right up into Lazard. They were 3 wide for a moment. The 7 just cleared the door off the 25. I don't think Matt's going to appreciate that. He's hanging right there on his quarter panel, and he's knocked them sideways. He spun Zachary around. That was for the 5th spot. Cackert just clipped him. Darksea just clobbered the 7. That's back there in corner number 8. That's car number 8. Leading the race, coming out of turn number 13, is going to win Heat B. Cooper Glick has made his way up into the 2nd spot. I don't even know where the 05 came from. I was paying attention to what was going on turn 8 back there. But it is Goslin, Glick, Munger, Delago, Matt, Lazard, and Mann, your top 7. Cackert, the first car outside of a transfer spot. And that was a crazy, crazy last lap. Drake Goslin, easily the best car this heat. But that's not even the main story at the moment. The main story is what on earth happened between Andrew Zachary and Dogleg Matt. Yeah, he definitely just dumped him. He chased him down and dumped him. And it looks like Cacker's just wrong place, wrong time. And coming over that hill, you can't really see anything in that spot of the track. I think Darksea was just in his lane, didn't realize there was going to be a car sitting there. We're going to ride on board with Blake Armano, see what he sees, and he's got Darksea right ahead of him. So you're not going to see the initial spin. Yeah, you see what I mean? It's a blind spot coming off that corner. He didn't see him until it was right there on him. Let's take a look on board with Andrew Zachary. And oh, you can see he knocked the rear bumper off the 25 before then knocking the passenger door off of his car, and that's for the 5th spot. And I don't think Matt really appreciated that. So coming down here into turn 8, or turn 9, this might be turn 9 to be honest, I don't really know. Just spins them out. And Cackert had nowhere to go, Darksea had nowhere to go. Andrew Zachary wind up finishing 12th here. He couldn't get the car going. He never even brought it back to the start and finish line. But yeah, no, Dogleg Matt hunted him down and spun him out. What a crazy end to Heat B here at Mid-Ohio. And what a race for Drake Goslin out front. Pretty much flawless. Let's ride on board with Cooper Glick real quick. He was 4th last time I checked in on him, and somehow he got up there into 2nd. There you see he goes outside of Munger, going there. This is turn 7, I believe. So he goes out inside of Munger. This is for the 3rd spot right there. And he's going to come up. He's going to give Ryan Delago a shot on the bumper, going through turn 8. And by the time he's in turn 9, he's already 3 car lengths ahead of him. So you got a little physical with him. But you got to do what you got to do to move on up the leaderboard there. Drake Goslin wins Heat B, followed by Glick, Munger, Delago, and Matt, rounding out the top 5. Lazard and Mann, 6th and 7th, get the last 2 transfer spots. Cackert's first one out in 8th, followed by Armano, 9th, and Darksea rounding out the top 10. William Schmidt, last car running at the finish, followed by Zachary and Quinton off the lead lap. We'll be right back after this quick break. Hello and welcome back to the SMunger Cup Series from Mid-Ohio. It's time for the main event. Let's take a look at the starting lineup. Oliver Gingerich on the inside, Drake Goslin to the outside, make up row number 1. Dice Guy to the inside, Cooper Glick to the outside, make up row number 2. Jax Riley to the inside, Stephen Munger to the outside, make up row number 3. Chase Newman to the inside, Ryan Delago to the outside, make up row number 4. Josh Aubrey to the inside, Dogleg Matt to the outside, make up row number 5. Chad Jones to the inside, Lazard to the outside, make up row number 6. Tyler Rogers to the inside, Tanner Mann to the outside, make up row number 7. 6 laps make up the main event here today, and Oliver Gingerich will lead them down. Green flag is out here at Mid-Ohio for the main event. Once again, a spread out start amongst the leaders, even more so than in past runnings. But Oliver Gingerich and Drake Goslin are door-to-door coming out of turn number 1. They haven't figured this one out just yet. Oliver Gingerich out front by maybe a car length. Dice Guy about 5 back behind them. But it is currently Gingerich, Goslin, Guy, Glick, and Munger, your top 5. It's getting pretty dicey there, about 7th place on back. But it is pretty spread out there amongst the top 6. Drake Goslin looking to run down Oliver Gingerich here. He's going to take the lead here, coming through turn number 3. Drake Goslin now out front here at Mid-Ohio, followed by Oliver Gingerich going into turn number 4. And Dice Guy is catching up to them as well, going into turn number 4. Gingerich looking to take the lead back, but Drake Goslin's going to hang on, going into turn number 5. Munger is showing his cards early on. He's up into the 3rd spot, getting around Dice Guy, and Cooper Glick hanging around in the top 5 as well. He's made his way up to the 5th spot. Jax Riley round in 6th. Chase Newman back in 7th. Ryan Delago still in 8th. Dogleg Matt back in 9th. And Josh Otterbury rounding out the top 10. As Munger is looking to take the lead from Drake Goslin coming out of turn number 10 through turn number 11 at the moment. They're still door-to-door beating and banging. Munger looking to take it going into 12. Drake Goslin's hanging on for the moment, but Munger's going to pass him. The 83 out front at Mid-Ohio over the 8 and the 57. Cooper Glick taking the 4th spot. Munger will lead lap number 1 of the main event, followed by Drake Goslin about 2 car lengths back. He's gaining ground on him, getting back into turn number 1. He's giving him the bumper. He's trying to move him out of that bottom lane. Seems like the 8 car, excuse me, that's the outside lane, excuse me. Seems like the 8 car seems to prefer the outside lane as well. And I'm just kind of taking notes here early on. It seems like the Chevrolets are performing in the first half of the lap up to about turn 7 better than the Fords, the Dodges, the Toyotas. As you see Drake Goslin once again taking the lead from Munger there, coming out of turn number 2 up into turn number 3. They're performing better this half of the lap than they are the second half of the lap compared to turn 8 and 9 through the chicane 10 and 11. Yeah, that seems to be where the Mustangs, the Dodges, and the Toyotas are running a lot better. So neither one's really getting a big lead over the other. So you see Cooper Glick at the moment taking the 3rd spot now from Dice Guy. Guy falling to 4th as Goslin still out front, but Munger starting to catch him coming through turn number 8 and back into turn number 9. Right back to his bumper. He's giving him the bumper right there. He's going to move him out of the way if he can. If not, he's going to do it going into turn number 11 right here. Right there alongside, they're door-to-door. Cooper Glick right along the bumper of the 8. He's wanting these two to wreck each other out because he knows he's got the fastest car out there besides these two. It is currently Munger, Goslin, Glick, Guy, and Gingerich, your top 5. Munger's going to lead lap number 2 here from Mid-Ohio as well. Chase Newman, Ryan Delago, Tanner Mann making his way all the way up to 8th at the moment. Jax Riley 9th, and Tyler Rogers rounding out top 10. But Munger seems to be performing better that second half of the lap, so he can get back out front, but he can't really run away with it. And then the 8 car, as you can see, runs him down getting into turn 2, and for the 3rd lap in a row, passes him through turn number 2. We have issues towards the back. Chad Jones is slammed into the back of somebody. Sounds like Jax Riley. There was a bit of a stack up back there about the 11th position. He's pulled off into a safe spot. Officials are saying they're going to keep this race green. Drake Goslin still out front going into turn number 4. Munger about 2 car lengths back. He's looking inside. He's making his move early this lap. But there in turn number 4 and turn number 5. The 83 gets back out front over the 8. The 8's not giving up just yet. Cooper Glick has fallen to about 8 car lengths on back. He doesn't want to be right there when these two decide to wreck each other out. For as much bumper as they've given each other, I'm surprised that they haven't wrecked each other out just yet. They've certainly come pretty close to it so far. And somebody to note, if you have noted on the scoreboard so far, Tanner Mann has made his way up to 5th. He's battling Chase Newman there for the 5th spot there. He's back in 6th now. But he started this race back in the 14th position. He is currently the fastest car on track. He's coming from all the way in the rear, and he's battling for a spot inside the top 5 for a moment. Munger leads lap 3, going into lap number 4. He's got about a 3 car length lead over Drake Goslin, but as I've been saying the last couple laps, the 8 car is performing better the first half of the lap. So he's probably going to close up on the 83 here, going down to turn number 2. Yep, you can see it. You can visually see it. He's already there on the bumper. And going through turn number 2, he's going to try and get around him once again. they keep bumping into each other, just taking turns, shots on the door, shots nose to tail, and at some point, somebody's got to give. Somebody's gonna get spun. They're gonna take each other out. Somebody's gonna cause themselves their own damage. The 83 is hanging on for the moment. The 8 car was not able to get around him through turn 2 that time, which was pretty surprising to me. That seems to be where the 8 car has been able to get him all race long, but he hasn't gotten away. Munger hasn't gotten away from Gosling yet either. Still only about 3 car lengths ahead of him as they go through turn number 8 and coming into turn number 9, 10 now. It is currently Munger, Gosling, Glick, Guy, and Newman, the top 5. Tanner Mann still right there with Newman. They've been trading that 5th spot back and forth for the last probably half lap or so now. But Munger still out front over Gosling and Glick. Those 3 are consistently the fastest, but I believe the clean air probably has something to do with it. But Glick, I have a strong suspicion, is waiting for these 2 to wreck each other like they might right there. Gosling gives Munger a shot coming out of turn 13. Gosling will lead lap number 4. The first person to lead a lap today that isn't Munger, in the main event I should say. But it is now Gosling over Munger as they come through turn number 1 and going towards turn number 2. But these 2, the back and forth all race long, it's going to get to a point where somebody is going to take themselves out, is going to take both of them out. Munger just used Gosling as the brake right there. I don't think Gosling appreciated that. He just stomped on the brakes, held them up, let Cooper Glick get involved, and all 3 of them just made contact right there because Munger went flying into the corner and used the 8 as the braking point. And Drake wasn't happy about that. You can see he just turned right into his door going into turn number 4. Down the straightaway going into turn number 4. The 8 is not happy with the 83. And I don't think Glick's very happy with the 8 car because now the 05 has damage. He just turned him sideways there for the 2nd spot. Glick now into the 2nd spot. Man has made his way into the 3rd spot. He moves Glick out of line. Glick into the grass. He's going to drop there back into the 5th or 6th spot. Munger likes what he sees in the mirror at the moment, but it is Gosling and Mann 2nd and 3rd place now, about 10 car lengths back. The 53 is bouncing all over the rear bumper of the 8, trying to get around him, because he knows he does not have very much time left in this race to catch the 83 and get around him, as the 83 is making his way in a corner number 12 and corner number 13. He's coming to take the white flag this time by. At corner number 13, white flag is in the air for Munger one more time around Mid-Ohio. Can he win his first points race ever today here? Or is Gosling going to catch up to him again? But what about Tanner Mann, who's worked his way up from the 14th spot to battle for the lead? He overdrove the corner. He's in the grass. He checks up. He's back on track. He doesn't lose a whole lot of time, but he's going to fall back there to the 3rd spot, I believe. He's actually going to hang on to 2nd. He was able to keep it alongside with the 8. But the 53 overdrove turn number 1. Coming out of turn number 2, he gets a little bit of a bump from the 14. Great exit out of turn number 2 for the 53. Going into turn number 3, he's side by side with Munger. He's going to take the lead. Tanner Mann out front for the first time today. On the last lap, he takes the lead. In turn number 3, going into turn number 4, the 83 is right up to his bumper, still inside. He hasn't quite gotten away from him yet. The 83 is going to give him contact. This is the better half of the track for him so far. So Tanner Mann needs to do what he can to hang on here. They're still side by side. Munger looking to take the lead back, but he can't do it there. Crosses over. Doesn't get back to the bumper. Now there's about a 3 car length gap as they go through turn number 10 towards turn number 11 now. They're still side by side. Now they're single file. Tanner Mann did what he needed to do to get out front, and Munger could not catch him to get back around him. Chase Newman in the 3rd spot. He's going to get around Munger. He's going to take the 2nd spot. He came flying through turn number 11. What a strong run for the 14. He's to the bumper of the 53. He's side by side with him through turns 12 and 13. Tanner Mann runs him wide. Tanner Mann's going to win at Mid-Ohio. First career win in the SMunger Cup Series. Tanner Mann hangs on over Chase Newman and Stephen Munger. Gosling falls to 4th, and Lazard will round out the top 5. But what a run for Tanner Mann, who started 14th today. 9 lead changes, and he was the last one. He takes the lead on the last lap to win the main event here at Mid-Ohio, and they needed a good points day today. I believe they came in 18th in points after a poor run at Daytona. Let's take a look at the finishing order. Tanner Mann wins, followed by Newman, Munger, Gosling, Lazard, your top 5. Guy, Glick, Delago, Matt, and Rogers, your top 10. Gingerich, Audebray, Riley, Jones, Just, Cackert, Jackson, Armano, Wilson, and Darksey will round out the top 20. And further on back is McCammett, Schmidt, L-Dog, Zachary, Rainbow, and Quentin, rounding out the field back 21st through 26th. But a crazy end to this race. And what a win for Tanner Mann. Let's take a look on board with Chad Jones first. See what happened, knocked him out of the race. Back on lap number 3. They're stacking up ahead of him. Out of corner number 13. This is lap 2 going into lap 13. Yeah, he just went right into the back of the 44. And seemed like he's okay until he gets into him getting into corner number 1. You can see the right front is flat, but listen to when he pulls off the track here. It just cut on him. The engine just cut out on him. I mean, it's running, but it's done. It was misfiring there as he was coming off. It did not sound very good. But let's take a look on board with Tanner Mann. See what he did there on the last lap to get this win. Going into turn number 1, this was where he was originally going to set up his pass, but he ended up overshooting the corner. He went a little too wide. He was there against the line and just went over the curbs, all 4 tires over the curbs. He loses the lead, but he hangs on to that second spot over Drake Gosling. Almost lost it on entry though. A little bit of help from Chase Newman. He's going to give him a bump here on exit of turn number 2. And he's going to have a great exit because of it. He's going to run down the 83 by the time they get up to turn number 3. Gosling, when he gives him the bump, actually gets the 83 a little sideways. Also helps the 53 there a bit. But a strong run all race long nonetheless. Yeah, in order to win the race from the last row, you have to have some speed, especially when only one car is out of the race, for instance. But a great run for the 53 today. Let's take a look on board. Chase Newman sees what he sees on the last lap. Flies through turn 11, gets around the 83, no problem. Gets up to the bumper, the 53. And he's pretty clean for the most part. Oh, maybe a little bit of contact right there, just leaning on him a little bit through turn 13. And right there at the end of the curves. 53 could have let him back on track. Could have gave him a little bit of room. But coming to the checkered flag, you don't give up anything. So I don't blame him for that. But a clean, good race back to the line nonetheless between Tanner Mann and Chase Newman. I believe this is Chase Newman's 3rd runner-up ever. So he's going to win a race one of these days. He's got a win coming for sure. He's been the bridesmaid too many times already. But what a day of racing here from Mid-Ohio. Incredible finish to boot. Tanner Mann's coming back down to the start and finish line. You go ahead and burn him down, Tanner. You done earned that one. Incredible finish. Incredible race. And this was a statement win, coming all the way from the back. Let's take a look at the points here. Chase Newman moves to the points lead, followed by Dogleg Matt, Lazard, Rogers, and Tanner Mann rounding out the top 5 now. Followed by Munger, McCammett, Audebray, Gosling, and Gingerich. You can see in green and red there on the side how many they've gone up or down in terms of the positions leaderboard. But back in 11th is Armano, followed by Cackert, Glick, Delago, and Just, rounding out the top 15. Wilson, Guy, Jones, Jackson, and Quentin rounding out the top 20. Quentin dropping 13 positions after this race in points. Rainbow back in 21st, followed by Jax Riley, Zachary, Darksey, and Schmidt, rounding out the top 25, and L-Dog currently last in points. Thank you to everybody who showed up to today's race. I'm your host, Steve. We'll see you at the next one.